First up on the show is a weekly Muse, and as of this recording, this is actually yet to release, but by the time you hear it, it will be out. We have Strixhaven, an actual book, a D&D book, nonetheless, that is going to be coming out.
A D&D book that I believe is based on Magic the Gathering.
I believe so. It's called Strixhaven, A Curriculum of Chaos. The School of Magic is in session, according to the D&D page on this. And
you know what I hope that we get with that? I hope one of the for Magic specifically, I'm sure it's already out, but I hope instead of remember when they did the types of like the guilds
in
Ravnica, I hope we get cliques because it's a school.
You just want Mean Girls, the
Mean Girls, the RPG.
Mean Girls, the RPG.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. I can't wait to be a member of the Plastics. They could be minis, but the minis have to be made of plastic instead of metal. That's how it works.
Well, yeah. Anyways.
That's fine. And
Strixhaven.
I will still fail to make fetch happen. Roll for fetch. Anyway, actually, just to clarify, the fantastical setting is based on Strixhaven University, drawn from the multiverse of Magic the Gathering. So yes, it is indeed drawn from that, and provides rules for creating characters who are students in one of its 5 colleges.
Yeah, I think there was some, maybe it's another setting that had to do with school type stuff that was people were up in arms over. I don't remember.
Yeah, terrifying if true. On the let's see, it's a multi-year campaign. I'm guessing multi-school year campaign in terms of the
yeah.
thing.
I'm assuming this is like Harry Potter.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. You start in your first year students who study, socialize, and adventure their way to graduation. There are new ways.
Graduation was a real adventure all along.
And it turns out that the real heaven was the friends we lost along the way.
I'm kind of wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I know D&D is an all-ages kind of game, but a lot of the people that do play it a lot more often, I feel, are adults. So I'm wondering which of these adults want to relive their high school days.
Well, the thing about it is, though, you just mentioned Harry Potter. And,
yeah, that's true.
And I'm thinking to myself that there's a lot of kids who grew up in the age of Harry Potter, like when that was first coming out and that was big, and a lot of like YA fiction that revolved around it was coming up. And if you think about it, and this is scary to think about, that's like 10, 15 years back that really started. So now they're adults, and they're probably playing D&D.
That's true.
So for them, this actually might be very nostalgic.
That makes more sense than us being like, yeah, I'd really love to relive my high school days.
I do.
Let me go get my Letterman jacket.
Did you have a Letterman jacket?
No.
I didn't think so. The letter that would be on there is a question mark.
The letter, I had a letter, and it was from doing chorus, and it was K for my school. I didn't put it on anything. They're like, here's a letter, and I'm like, yay. Why would I want... People in their 30s and 40s who still wear Letterman jackets from their high school days startle me.
Yeah, you realize that they don't have a lot going on. No, their life pretty much you could tell their life ended at high school. They had nothing afterwards.
Their peak.
They peaked at high school, and that's why they will never shut up about it. Let's see what else we have. A few little pointers about what is going to be in Strixhaven. There are new ways to experience D&D through the academic challenges, extracurricular activities and jobs, relationships explored on campus.
You can also do Animal House.
Oh, you know what? You probably could. You could do Animal
I was going to say Robot House, but that's Futurama's version.
Robot House. There's actually, if you think about this, if you want to do a school setting, there's actually a whole lot of interesting things you could try. You could do, back to school. Could you imagine playing a character as Rodney Dangerfield? I would absolutely love to do that. What would Rodney Dangerfield be if he was a D&D character?
I'd rather do Ferris Bueller Stay Off.
Yeah. But the thing about it is then your characters are never in the school.
Exactly. It's more fun that way.
It's more fun that way. 4 adventures that can be played as standalones are woven together to create a campaign, taking players from level 1 to 10. That feels fast.
Over
Getting
4
from 1
years.
to 10.
Over 4. I mean, what if you stay back a year?
Oh, that's true. You're just graduating as like a level 20. I never really grew up.
I was peaking.
I was peeking, yeah. Players can create characters using the new race presented in the book. Yes, we should probably talk about this, which is the Owlin, one of the owl folk who study at the university. This does definitely feel Harry Potter inspired.
Sounds like a hoot.
It does sound like a hoot. And the thing is, if you play an Owlin, you are obligated to ask all the other players how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
I guess so, yeah.
Or you have to answer it for them. I think that's how the owl thing worked. Anyway.
Who knows?
So the thing about it is that I did want to talk a little bit about the Owlin, because when that was first announced, there was a lot of people that were kind of talking about it. And I think there were a few people that were kind of like going, why is every new character just an anthropomorphic version of an animal?
We're catering to the furries.
It's a
and
good
that's
audience.
Okay.
It's a good
and
audience.
that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We can do that.
I know our demographic data doesn't tell us if anyone's a furry, but just know that everyone's probably a furry.
That's a missed opportunity, in my opinion. They should really give me data on these.
You know, Nathan, if you get a little lapel mic and a fursuit helmet, I'm sure we can get more views.
I'll get one of the dead mouse helmets.
Perfect.
That would be great.
I'll get marshmallow.
Yeah, you're marshmallow. You know what we do? We just get the biker helmets and we just pretend we're Daft Punk.
I've already got one. It just needs to be blacked out.
Yep, exactly. We'll just repaint it. It'll be fine. Some features, though, of the Owlin, I believe it actually has night vision. That was the other thing that people were complaining about, and I actually have to say, I kind of understand it. I understand why an owl person would have dark vision or night vision, but there were a lot of players that were like, at this point, there's so many races that have night vision. Can we have like a color that's darker than night so that it evens out the playing field here?
So yeah, I was looking through the PHP the other day.
Yeah.
Making characters and stuff, and I was like, oh, elves don't have low light vision anymore. It's just dark vision.
Everyone has dark vision.
I don't think I realized that.
Yep.
Because it used to be low light vision, which as you can see in like, low light settings up to like 120 feet.
Oh yeah.
Like you can see normally up to like 30 or 60. And then anything past that is low light up until like 120 for elves because they're very keen eyes.
Right.
It's just dark vision 60 feet. I was like,
Now, I thought half elves also have that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the half elf specifically, but I think they've got their eyesight from their parents, from their elven parent rather.
Right. I mean, it would kind of make sense if they still had like a low light vision.
Yeah, and then I think
had dark vision. Yeah.
Dwarves have it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about halflings and gnomes. The half orcs have it.
Don't tieflings? I want to see.
Tieflings 100% have it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's like, all right, so maybe humans and
humans don't.
Maybe the gnomes and halflings, but it's like, all right, so I guess everything but the human gets to see in the dark.
Yeah, there's a lot of other races that are from the expansions as well, and you notice that there's quite a few that have dark vision. I think, like, especially like the bird kind of races, a lot of them have it, and
they should just have electromagnetic vision.
I know the Tabaxi do. But yeah, a lot of people were like, okay, at this point, if so many of these characters have dark vision, it starts to lose its usefulness to actually be in the dark at all.
Yeah, and if you do human warlock, you can just give yourself an invocation for dark vision at will. Yeah,
and I think that if you are if you're like a tinkerer, if you can make stuff, I think that you can make dark vision goggles as well.
Oh, those should just be really cheap then, since it's like, oh, these are cheap.
Yeah.
Because the only people buying it are humans.
Right, right. But I think I remember when I was putting together an artificer, I think that one of the things that you could technically make if you had the resources was like dark vision goggles. They were in like the realm of stuff that you could build. So I guess at that point anybody can just have them if they can, you know.
I want to make a pair of cursed dark vision goggles that take away creatures' dark vision when they wear it.
Oh my goodness, that would be something else. Yeah. So that was a little bit of a point of contention. Some of these other things, though, do feel like they're starting to get pretty traditional in a lot of the races. So arms and legs like other humanoids. Well, that pretty much is everybody. I don't know why they had to specify that. Wings, they have wings and can fly. There's actually quite a few races now that can fly.
Yeah.
I think the Kenku can fly, if I remember correctly.
I believe so. They're like a little raven thing, right?
Right, right. I could never remember if the thing was that they couldn't fly, but I think they can. They can hop. They don't walk like normal people. And then they also...
Birds walk normally, Nathan.
They could, if they tried.
They can't. The only birds that don't walk normally are hummingbirds.
Right.
Because they don't have any leg muscle.
That's true. And then, of course, the Aarakocra, they're able to fly completely. Some other things, when you heard this, you were like, oh, I know what kind of character this is for. Makes no sound when they move or fly, and can be nocturnal but don't have to be. So
100% rogues or shadow monks or assassins. It's like, why would you not? I mean, you could do ranger. I guess that would make sense. Really good at hunting as an owl. But like,
probably
that's
not
like
with the bow though. Can you? How would the owl hold the bow with wings?
It's a crossbow. I mean, it's got arms and legs like a normal humanoid plus wings.
Oh yeah.
And in the image, it kind of looked like the wings are on its back.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah.
Which is a little weird.
Yeah, that's not how owls work,
but yeah, like
owl
you could.
Person.
You don't have to pigeonhole it into being a rogue, but
yeah,
it doesn't make sound when it moves. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Unless you want to do a caster that is very silent, a sneaky caster.
A sneak caster.
Mm-hmm.
We could always have a sneak caster.
I mean, especially since it's Strixhaven, you could do like an arcane trickster rogue.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having a warlock that was the owl. I could see that.
Maybe.
For no particular reason, just I think that sounds like a neat idea. But
A hootlock?
It sounds like a hoot. Yeah, a hootlock.
No, hootlock.
Yeah. A hootlock. Whatever you want to call it. Hootlocker. Anyway, so there's the Owlin. A couple other things that they make notes of just in the quick notes. Adds a new player character option, including some feats and backgrounds, and includes some new spells and magic items to help them feel connected to the college when they join. You encounter over 40 magical, mysterious creatures and NPCs in the bestiary. Hopefully none of them are Dementors. And Strixhaven can easily be dropped into any D&D world or campaign with the provided rules for adventuring as a student of magic. So,
okay. So it's a multi-universe university.
Exactly. It's a multi-universe university.
I was gonna say that.
Uni-university.
Multi-university.
T. There we go. We got it. We got it in 5. Perfect. Multi-university. That's, So anyway, yes, you can drop that in any one of your games, if you want them to suddenly be going to a school, I guess. And relive all of the horrible, horrible things that happened there.
Hey,
Because
you know what?
it's D&D.
Some characters never went to school, and this is their chance.
This is their chance. This is the Rodney Dangerfield chance that we all needed, so he can go back to school. That's what you do. we create Rodney Dangerfield. And this is why they made it. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. It was not about Harry Potter.
It was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It was
as we
about...
said.
It was about that, or maybe somebody watched too many of the Police Academy movies. I don't know. I don't know what it was. No, you know what it was? They just rebooted Saved by the Bell. That's what they were thinking about. It was Saved by the Bell.
So who's gonna be Screech?
The owl. Are you kidding me?
That's true. The owl's name is Screech.
The owl's name is Screech. That's perfect. That's perfect. So, very interesting concept. I like the idea that they're trying to theme this a little bit more specifically. Sometimes I see a lot of the setting books, and it does feel unique, but, you know, in terms of what the actual campaign is supposed to be, it doesn't feel tremendously different. This does feel like they're trying to organize it in a different way than your typical campaign itself. So that's a neat idea. But how do you like the general idea of trying to do a school setting for an RPG?
I think it's interesting. It's definitely mixed where I think the audience for that is. Obviously, they're definitely piggybacking on the Magic the Gathering crowd, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know who specifically would like to play a school setting in an RPG. Mm. So I'm kind of... I feel like that's a hit or miss for people. I think it's interesting. I think it'd also be interesting to play, like, the teachers in a setting like that.
Oh, you want to play the Snape.
Yeah, I want to play Snape.
Yeah.
Severus Snape. Dumbledore.
You want to play Dumbledore? That would be good.
No, I was memeing, Nathan. I was memeing.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to go with McGonagall. Why not? I can play with the Sorting Hat. That'd be great.
You can be the Sorting Hat.
Could I make a character based on the Sorting Hat? Like, if they're making all of these different characters, why can't there be, like, a Hatkin? And
I mean...
DC would love that. DC would love that. It'd be right on top of that. But, yeah, I mean, at some point, though, they are going to run out of animals to anthropomorphize into races.
We can have all sorts of things. Cows.
Yeah. Okay.
You could finally make your hell bovine character.
Moulins? Moulins, yeah. Milkokra.
No, get out of here.
That's a good one. You know what I want? I want a race that's based on tardigrades.
Why?
Because water bears would be absolutely terrifying to play.
Yeah, but they don't look like any bear.
They don't need to look like an actual bear.
They do.
They have so many hands. Think about how useful that would be. You could carry all the weapons. If you had a tardigrade, what could we call that? A tardigrada.
No.
There, I just named it.
No, instead, I'd rather do an axolotl.
Oh, axolotls would be fun.
Because then you can axolotl questions.
Yes, I know how that name goes. Yeah. Tardigladius. It's an actual sword made out of a tardigrade.
That would have to be made out of a ton of them, because they're tiny.
Nah, you upscale them.
Enlarged tardigrade.
Enlarged tardigrade.
Man, I wanted someone to use enlarged person or enlarged creature spell and have it miss the target. And then suddenly just a giant tardigrade.
Yeah, just a giant tardigrade. And it's your pet now. That's fine.
And it's your enemy now.
And it's your enemy because it will probably try to eat you. But it's fine, folks. You've probably eaten more tardigrades in your lifetime than you will ever remember.
I don't think that's true. Anyways.
Well, they live in water. And chances are you've drank water at some point.
Nope, never.
Okay. Well, anyway, hoping that they totally turn an axolotl into something, and a tardigrade into something. And if you're coming up with a book about that, Wizards of the Coast, please let us know. We would very much like an advance copy.
I don't think it's advanced at this point.
No. Well, it would be if it turned out they were actually trying to make a tardigrade.
Oh,
race.
you meant for that? I thought you meant for Strixhaven.
No. I know. I said if they're gonna make an axolotl or a tardigrade.
I'm sure someone's homebrewed it.
Probably has. Tardigrades are great. They're also incredibly small, and there's a ton of them, and they will probably take over the world. Actually, there was a whole thing where they said, if you were an alien coming down from space, you were aware of the entire, all the species on the planet, you would be right to think that it's actually a planet of tardigrades.
I don't know how they'd be aware of every single species on the planet when we're not, but that's fine.
Because they're aliens and they have advanced technology. There should be a D&D campaign where it just takes place on an alien spaceship. It would be like the Mothership Zeta.
There are plenty of those campaigns.
There are?
They may not just be D&D, but there are plenty of those games.
Okay. But in D&D, I'm just like thinking Mothership Zeta.
I'm sure that exists.
Okay. I mean, Mothership Zeta wasn't very interesting, but I guess don't do that then. Never mind.